New this morning on Local 6 Today, we are welcoming the Wall That Heals to Paducah.
You ready?
Ready? Up.
Including what you need to know before you visit the memorial as you look for the names of those who served.
Each of the names you see on the wall is of a brave man or woman who paid the ultimate sacrifice. I'll share the stories of some of the names some local families will be looking for when they visit the Wall That Heals.
But there's more to this traveling memorial than just the wall. We'll tell you about another exhibit you and your family can see, plus the events planned during the wall's time here, including tonight's welcome ceremony.
And if you're planning on heading to the ceremony or tomorrow's candlelight vigil, you'll want to grab a coat and maybe an umbrella. I'll have your Wall That Heals forecast with weather on the 6s. Local 6 Today at 6 starts right now.
WPSD Local 6, your breaking news and weather authority. This is Local 6 Today.
You are taking a live look right now at the Wall That Heals. It officially opened up about 6 hours ago and will be open for you and your family to visit through Sunday afternoon. We've been talking about the wall's arrival for months now. It is finally here.
It's been more than 60 years since the start of the Vietnam War, but the memories of what veterans saw while they were there still haunt them today. And while the wall is here, you're invited not only to visit and honor the lives of those who died in Vietnam, it's also a time to provide some comfort for those who did make it home and recognize their courage, their strength, and service to our country. And you'll have plenty of time to do that before the wall leaves on Sunday afternoon.
Here is a rundown of what all is happening at Carson Park. The wall is open 24 hours a day, so you can stop by whenever you'd like to see it. Even though it's open now, there will be a welcoming opening ceremony tonight. That starts at 6. Organizers say you should plan on getting there around 5:30. Then tomorrow night, you're invited to a candlelight vigil and wreath laying. That also starts at 6. And so many of you turned out to help welcome the wall to Paducah on Tuesday. We're hoping to send it off that same way on Sunday.
There's a closing ceremony Sunday afternoon at 2:30, after which the wall will be broken down and start its journey to its next destination, Huntsville, Alabama. And our co-anchor, Michaela Bruner, joins us now from Carson Park.
And Michaela, why is the wall coming to Paducah such a huge deal for veterans and their families?
Mike, Stephanie, good morning. The traveling version of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial has been around since 1996. In that time, it's visited 600 communities, and now Paducah is one of them. It means a lot to several families in our community. Several Vietnam veterans live here or lost someone they loved during the war. We've shared some of their stories with you in the weeks leading up to the wall's arrival, including Master Sergeant William E. or Bill Lawson. He served in the U.S. Army Special Forces and died in 1967. Local 6's Jennifer Horbell got the chance to meet two of his three kids, Lynn Russell and Mike Lawson, as well as his widow, Joyce Roper.
When he left, he told me he wouldn't be coming back. He knew that he was going to get killed over there.
Mike Lawson was only 4 years old when his dad died, but says he always felt a sense of pride when talking about him.
It's very difficult to think of what my dad faced and knew what the environment he was going to, and to get on a plane and fly into that known yet unknown situation. I can't imagine what strength it took.
It was 40 years before the family learned how Bill actually died. It was during a secret mission that North Vietnamese soldiers found out about. Mike says there were too many of them and they were too close, and they had to call in an airstrike over their position. His dad ultimately died from friendly fire. Now, this is where he will come when he visits the wall. Master Sergeant Lawson's name is listed with the other members of a special operations group who died with him in the jungle. I'll share more of these stories of all these people who are on the wall coming up later this morning. And don't forget, the opening welcome home ceremony is tonight at 6. Live in Carson Park, I'm Michaela Brenner, WPSD Local 6.
Michaela, thank you. If you want to see Jennifer's full story on Master Sergeant Bill Lawson, go to WPSDLocal6.com. He is one of many stories featured by Jennifer and Todd Faulkner. Amazing stories. That's under the Wall That Heals link at the top of the page.
Also on our website, we have a photo gallery of the wall that heals. To see those pictures for yourself, just head to WPSDLocal6.com. And still ahead in our Wall That Heals coverage, we'll look back at the history of the traveling memorial, plus the special meaning behind the design of the monument. Also, there's more than just the wall for you and your family to see at Carson Park. We'll tell you about the other exhibit that's set up right now. Plus, we'll continue sharing the stories of some local veterans who are visiting the wall and the names they say they'll be looking for.
Now, weather on the 6s.
And a few seconds away from 6:06 here on this Thursday morning. If you're planning on heading to the wall later today, you'll want to have the umbrella and the rain jacket with you. There is a chance of rain later on this evening. Let's talk about that Wall That Heals forecast for you. We'll pick it up at 8 o'clock this morning, and you'll notice there's cloudy skies already in place this morning. Those clouds will be with us through the course of our day. It's keeping our morning temperatures a little milder. Instead of the 30s for the past couple of days, we're running in the upper half of the 40s. We'll be at around 48 at 8 o'clock this morning. Clouds will hang tight through the day. For the most part, we should stay mainly dry through the midday and early afternoon hours. So if you're going out a little earlier today, your forecast is in pretty good shape. It will be cool. You'll want the jacket, with temperatures only making it into the upper half of the 50s this afternoon. I am going to introduce rain chances by about noon. It would be some sprinkles, some very light showers here if that did pan out. It's really closer to that opening ceremony time later on this evening towards 6 o'clock that we're going to have those increasing chances for some wet weather. If you are headed out there at 5, 6 o'clock this evening, I would certainly have the rain jacket, the umbrella, just in case you need it. Rain chances will peak overnight tonight and going into tomorrow morning. Our rain chances are pretty high for your Friday morning at 70%. Through the course of the day tomorrow, rain chances drop off. We should see rain around through most of the morning. By the afternoon, we'll get rid of the steady rain. There could be some sprinkles, some drizzle around for your Friday afternoon. It's going to be cool and damp tomorrow as well, with temperatures only in the mid-50s. Saturday is looking a little drier. That's some good news for us now. 59. It'll be mainly cloudy through the day. We'll keep a 20% chance of a sprinkle in there, but for the most part, that weekend forecast is kind of flip-flop from what we saw yesterday. Your 7-day planning forecast, where the weekend's always in view. Sunday is when we'll talk about a chance for some additional showers swinging through the area. Saturday, again, mainly cloudy, but mainly dry. On Sunday, in the morning, we're in good shape. By Sunday afternoon, some of those closing ceremonies will have to watch out for the possibility of some light rain showers in the forecast. That system quickly scoots on to the east, though, and by Sunday night, we're back to dry weather. Rest of your 7-day planner, looking ahead to next week, Monday and Tuesday, we should be dry. It'll be a little cooler. And then, of course, next Wednesday is Halloween, already planning trick-or-treating activities. We'll have to keep an eye on this. This is still a week away, a lot of time for the details to come into view, but there are some signals that we could be looking at some showery weather on Halloween. Again, a lot of time there. We'll be tracking that in the coming days to update you how that may impact your plans. We'll have a look at your bus stop forecast for this Thursday coming up here at about 6:16.
It is 6:08, and here's what's new this morning. Police say they have made an arrest in that deadly shooting at a Louisville Kroger grocery store. They released Gregory Bush's mugshot just a couple of hours ago. He's facing 2 counts of murder and 10 counts of wanton endangerment. We first told you about the shooting Wednesday with Local 6 Push Alert. Investigators say Bush fired several rounds into the store and killed a man inside the store, then shot a woman multiple times in the parking lot. They're still not saying what led to the shootings.
Here's what's happening now. We just learned that another possible pipe bomb has been found. This time it was addressed to Robert De Niro. And federal investigators aren't ruling out the possibility that more suspicious packages are out there. This after multiple packages were intercepted before reaching their intended targets, including former Presidents Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. The FBI says they're investigating the bombs as a domestic terrorism. A $25,000 reward is being offered to find this missing girl. Jamie Kloss's family, along with law enforcement in Wisconsin, say that they will never stop looking for her. It's been a week and a half since the Amber Alert was issued for Jamie. Investigators believe she was there in the home when her parents were shot and killed. Right now, they're looking for 2 vehicles that they found on surveillance footage near the Kloss home. Happening next, Saturday's Powerball jackpot is up to an estimated $750 million. This after no one won Wednesday night's drawing. Jackpot's now the 4th largest in the lottery's history. If only.
Coming up on Local 6 today, we continue our coverage of the Wall That Heals, which is officially open now in Paducah.
And next, we'll take a look back at the history of the traveling memorial and the purpose of its journey across the country. Plus, our co-anchor Michaela Bruner is live in Carson Park this morning.
Michaela, have there been many visitors to the wall?
Well, Mike, Stephanie, good morning. Yeah, people started showing up last night to visit the Wall That Heals. After the break, I'll share the stories of 2 veterans who came to pay their respects. That's all coming up right after the break.
Courage, bravery, and devotion to our freedom. These are some of the words that may come to your mind when you think of veterans from the Vietnam War. And it's some of the reasons people like Bill Kinsey say they remember about why they fought in the war.
Serving my country, doing what I think was an honorable thing to do, and just, stepping up when I was asked to do. But I think serving my country.
The Wall That Heals has been traveling to communities across the country since 1996. Right now, it's set up in Paducah's Carson Park.
It's a way to honor the brave men and women who ultimately gave their lives in Vietnam. But that's not its only purpose. It also provides the thousands of veterans who did make it home find strength and courage as they continue coping with the things that they saw while serving in the war. The wall you'll see in Carson Park is a 3/4 scale replica of the one that's in Washington, D.C. It's 375 feet long, and it stands 7.5 feet at its highest point.
Like the memorial in Washington, the wall is in a chevron shape and features the names of the more than 58,000 people who never came home. And that includes the names of thousands of people from across Kentucky, Illinois, Tennessee, and Missouri. Among those names are people who lived and worked in our community or touched the lives of some of the local veterans who made it home.
We'll share more of their stories a little later, plus the significance of the symbols and inscriptions that you'll see on the wall. Our co-anchor Michaela Bruner is live at Carson Park right now.
So Michaela, have people already been out to see the wall?
Mike, Stephanie, good morning. There have been dozens of people who have stopped by to see the wall since volunteers finished putting it up on Wednesday. As Local 6's Bryce Mansfield shows us, 2 veterans have already stopped by to take this all in and spend time with their family and friends.
Oh, that hurts. Man, the life he could have lived. Oh, that hurts. That hurts.
As the pencil pulls his friend's name from the Wall That Heals, Michael Long grieves.
And to finally come here, if I can finally get some, what would we call it? Finally get some relief. Because I never knew.
Long doesn't know how his friend lost his life in Vietnam. He says he's been trying to visit him at the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C. ever since it was built in the 80s. Even though this traveling memorial wasn't set to open until midnight, Michael says he wasn't going to wait any longer to see his friends and family he lost in the war.
I wanted to just see this thing. I needed to see this thing. Now I've seen it, and I feel revived. I feel like a sister in church on Sunday that gets happy, that wants to shout. Yeah, I'm serious. Just make you say thank you for letting me stay alive long enough before I can see it. Man, it's a great feeling. I swear it is. I finally get to see it.
Visiting his loved ones ahead of the thousands to say, "I'll see you on the other side."
The memorial will be open 24 hours a day through Sunday here at Carson Park. We do want to remind you it's free admission, so you can bring the family out here to see this for yourself. Don't forget, tonight is the welcome ceremony, and that starts at 6. Live at Carson Park in Paducah, I'm Michaela Bruner, WPSD Local 6.
All right, thank you, Michaela. We'll have much more on the Wall That Heals all morning, including more stories from veterans who fought in the Vietnam War. Right now, though, Weather Authority Trent Okerson joins us.
And Trent, a lot of people are planning to head out, of course, to Carson Park for tonight's welcome ceremony, and it's going to be a chilly night.
It's going to be a chilly night, and it could be a damp night. Could be rainy out there for right around time for opening ceremony. It's still, we've been talking about this for a couple of days. Some kind of right on the border as far as exactly when that rain arrives. It may be a little later in the evening, but it may be arriving toward 5 and 6. So you'll want to have the rain gear just in case you do need it. Let's break down that Thursday forecast for you. We'll pick it up this morning at 8 o'clock. If you are headed out to see the wall this morning, that's probably the best time today, the safest time today to stay dry. It's going to be cloudy and it's going to be cool all day long. Cooler than yesterday as temperatures are stuck in the mid to upper 50s this afternoon. We'll throw in about a 20% chance of a sprinkle light rain shower as early as about noon or 2 o'clock this afternoon. Get a little closer to dinner time and that opening ceremony time, well, those rain chances start to go up, about a 50% chance at 6 o'clock this evening. There is a chance the rain could hold off a little bit later into the evening, but certainly the later that we go, the higher the chance for rain today. Saladino and Shaft Sky Tracker Network this morning will take you down to Union City, Tennessee and Discovery Park of America, where things are pretty quiet. Temperatures this morning running in the upper 40s for most of us, even a 50 in Kennett, Missouri. That's because of those increasing clouds. And that's going to keep those morning temperatures a little milder than yesterday. Bus stop forecast, Independence Bank, bringing that today. And a shout out to the Lions in Lyon County this morning. Not having to worry about those 30s and the thick jackets this morning. Maybe the lighter jacket, not quite as cold, 48 off to school. And again, 57 this afternoon. Heading home with some light rain, a possibility. Let's talk about those rain chances. We'll go through your hour-by-hour forecast here. 8 o'clock this morning, we're in pretty good shape by noon today. At 2 o'clock, some of those showers starting to show up in the Boot Heel and northwest Tennessee. Here we are at 5 o'clock. You notice the rain, it's very, very light, but it's starting to show up close to the Paducah area, and certainly the deeper into the evening we go, that rain is going to be more likely. We'll have widespread light rain overnight and tomorrow morning. Your Friday drive is going to feature the windshield wipers and the umbrellas. This is 7 o'clock. About the only spot tomorrow morning that may miss out on the rain would be southeast Missouri. By noon in the afternoon tomorrow, the steady rain begins to wrap up, although there could be some drizzle and damp weather around for your Friday afternoon. Saturday, we get a little bit of a break from the wet weather and then another chance in your 7-day planning forecast with the weekend's always in view on Sunday, including closing ceremony time. Could be some showers to talk about then. We'll have a look at your travel forecast coming up at about 6:26, guys.
Thank you, Trent. Well, the wall that heals is open right now. You're taking a live look at the wall from Carson Park.
You and your family can stop by anytime between now and Sunday afternoon, including tonight's welcome home ceremony, which starts at 6.
If you're unable to make it out to Carson Park, we'll be streaming it live on WPSTLocal6.com. And coming up on Local 6 today, we'll continue our coverage of the wall that heals and its time in Paducah,
including the significance of the wall's layout and how more local veterans feel about it being here. First, though, we're learning new details about a shooting at this Kroger.
We'll update you on the new information that we're learning from Louisville next at 6:20. You're watching Local 6 today.
It is 6:22, and we want to show you a new video just into our newsroom. This is the man that police in Louisville say shot and killed 2 people at a Kroger on Wednesday. They identified Gregory Bush as the suspect. They have in custody. This was shortly after midnight. He's facing 2 counts of murder and 10 counts of wanton endangerment. And Bush goes before a judge for the first time tomorrow morning.
We're hoping to learn more today about potential explosive devices that were sent to current and former government leaders. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is scheduled to hold a news conference later today. The suspicious packages were addressed to Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, and Congresswoman Maxine Waters, as well as former CIA Director John Brennan and former U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder. Right now, you're taking a live look at the wall that heals.
And we'll have more coverage of the wall's time in Paducah coming up, including how some local veterans are welcoming to our community.
And next, we'll check back in with Weather Authority Trent Okerson for weather on the 6s. Your time, it is 6:23. Local 6 today. We'll be right back.
Now, weather on the 6s.
Everybody, good morning. 6:26 on this Thursday, and it's a little milder this morning. It's going to be a little cooler this afternoon, though. A lot of clouds around the area and shower chances as well. Your travel forecast for this Thursday featuring some rain chances in Nashville, Memphis, Little Rock, and Springfield. Even here at home, we'll have rain chances starting to move in by later this afternoon. Here's a look at your hour-by-hour forecast here at home this afternoon. We'll keep it dry through the morning hours, 50 at 9 o'clock. Noontime numbers about 56, a slight chance of a sprinkle or a light rain shower there from noon to 3 o'clock. A little higher chance, unfortunately, sneaking our way by about 6 o'clock this evening. As we head through the next few days, another rain chance on the way for this weekend and next week. We'll fill you on that. We're going to check your 7-day planning forecast ahead at 6:36. We'll be back after this.
Husbands, fathers, sons, daughters, friends, loved ones. Each of the more than 58,000 names etched in the black granite of the wall that heals represents so much more than a soldier.
Well, when you think of 58,000 dead people on that wall, it's almost like, are they bringing all the caskets? You know, it's tough.
This traveling memorial isn't just for the thousands of Americans who never came home from the Vietnam War.
You tear up a little bit because you know that you spent some time with somebody that didn't make it back. That's tough. That's the worst part.
It serves as a place to other veterans and their loved ones to heal and remember.
There were all kinds of close calls. We did survive.
Millions of Americans did survive and come back to their families from Vietnam, but more than 58,000 did not.
This war is hell. Every time it's a war, it's hell.
Now we have the chance to honor their legacies and sacrifice while supporting those still struggling with the things they saw, with the wall that heals.
Today we're taking some time to look back and reflect on the Vietnam War and the thousands of men and women who died fighting for our country. Each of their names is on the wall that heals. The traveling replica of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial will be at Carson Park until Sunday afternoon. You've already heard some of the general details about the wall.
Its purpose is to serve as a place to reflect and to remember. It lists the names of the more than 58,000 people who died. But what you may not know is the order of the names that they're in and why. Here's a graphic from the memorial's website to help you visualize what we're talking about and help you out if you're looking for a specific name. It's of the one in Washington, but the layout is still the same. The wall is made of 140 inscribed panels, 70 on each side, and each is numbered either east or west with the numbers 1 through 70. The names are listed by when they died, starting with 1 east and going to 70. Then it continues across the wall at 70 west, back to 1 west in the center. The names of those who died in the beginning and end of the war meet there to signify the beginning and end of the conflict. And leading up to the wall that heals coming to Paducah, we've been sharing the stories and the experiences of some local veterans who are planning on visiting it.
Our co-anchor, Michaela Bruner, joins us now live from Carson Park. And how do veterans feel about the wall coming to Paducah, Michaela?
Mike, Stephanie, good morning. Well, for many of them, it's still hard to talk about Vietnam, even though it's been more than 40 years since the conflict ended. But the feelings of loss, helplessness, and loneliness are still a part of veterans' lives today. One of them is David Stevenson. He still has a hard time talking about his time in Vietnam, but agreed to share his story with Local 6's Jennifer Horbelt. What he saw on the battlefield still haunts him today, including March 22nd, 1969, when he and 100 other soldiers were ambushed in the jungle. He lost one of his good friends that day, First Lieutenant William Dent. Stevenson says he was standing right next to Dent when he was shot in the head.
I think about that all the time, trying to figure out what I could have done to make things end different or happen different. You know, I haven't been able to work it out in 50 years. All gave some, and some gave all. And Dent was one of the ones that gave all.
And this is the spot on the wall that honors William L. Dent. It's one of the names Stevenson says he's going to be looking for when he comes to the wall that heals. Again, we'll be live at the wall that heals in every newscast through Sunday. Live in Carson Park in Paducah, I'm Michaela Bruner, WPSD Local 6.
Thank you, Michaela. And if you're planning on visiting the wall while it's in Paducah, here's what you need to know. It's going to be open 24 hours a day until it leaves Sunday afternoon. There is a welcome home ceremony that happens tonight at 6, and then a candlelight vigil tomorrow night. Organizers say you should plan to be there at 5:30 for both events. Everything wraps up on Sunday with a 2:30 closing ceremony. Stephanie, you were at Carson Park Wednesday as the volunteers were setting it up. What was that like to see it as it took shape?
It was first touching to see so many volunteers come out. They had more than 50 volunteers, I want to say near 60 volunteers show up to construct the wall, and it was moving, that final piece going in, to see that take shape right there. It was a moving experience to see, and you could see that in the faces of the veterans who were out there volunteering. So. And then take a look at this. Our cameras were rolling as the volunteers started putting the wall together, so you can see it take shape really right here. The time-lapse video shows it starting to take that shape of what you'll see when you visit. Now, they began working on it at 8 o'clock Wednesday morning, finished shortly after 12:30. 60 volunteers, including firefighters, you had iron workers out, veterans, and others who helped assemble the wall. And nice weather to do it in yesterday.
And I think it went up quicker than they anticipated, because our volunteers are so good, so organized and so
Site manager
energetic.
was very surprised. Tim Tate said he was surprised to see so many out, and it was the fastest time that they've been able to get that wall up.
Yeah, not surprising for us though. Of course, we're always seeing the generosity of the folks in our community, and so it was good to see that. And weather-wise, of course, yesterday was really nice for it to go up. Today, maybe not so much. For going out to see the wall, the earlier that you can go today, the better. Now, we do have that opening ceremony tonight at 6 o'clock, and weather may factor into that. So let's tell you what you need to know for your Thursday forecast. This morning, clouds are in place. They'll be with us all day long. That's going to keep our temperatures today a little cooler than even yesterday, and it was pretty chilly yesterday. We were in the mid-60s then. We're in the mid-50s today. 47, in fact, at 8 o'clock this morning. 56 at noon. 57, about as warm as it gets. A sprinkle, a light stray rain shower possible as early as noon today. If you're going out there, even this afternoon, I just have the rain jacket, the umbrella, just in case you need it. But those rain chances start going up by 4 and 6 o'clock. You see the lifestyle index back in the yellow. It's 50-50 as far as that opening ceremony tonight. There is a chance we could luck out and have the rain arrive a little bit earlier or a little bit later tonight. But certainly overnight tonight and early tomorrow morning is going to be our highest rain chance. If your Friday includes a trip to see the wall, later in the day may be your better bet. Tomorrow morning is going to be pretty damp. Through Saturday, here's the good news with the rain. It's not going to be a heavy rain. It's not going to be a washout, just some lighter showers this go around. And through the weekend, we'll talk about really a third of an inch or less of rain for most areas. As we check out your planning forecast, again, tonight and tomorrow morning, our highest rain chance, that's got the lifestyle index in the yellow. We'll actually go back to green on Saturday. Looks like this weekend system that we've been tracking is slowing down a little bit. So Saturday, I don't want to take the rain chance completely out, but pretty confident we're going to make it through most of the day dry. Good news for folks that maybe have to wait to the weekend to head out to see the wall that heals. On Sunday, as we get ready to wrap things up, Sunday afternoon, that's when we're going to have another chance for some showers arriving, and so that may kind of interfere with our closing ceremonies a little bit. That would also be a very light rain, more in the way of spotty showers. Looking ahead at your 7-day planning forecast to early next week, we're back to dry weather and sunshine in the forecast for Monday, partly cloudy on Tuesday, and next Wednesday is Halloween, of course, and trick-or-treaters watching that forecast closely, and we may have some tricky weather to deal with. Still a week away, and there's still some uncertainty in the forecast models, but showers could be in the forecast on Wednesday. That's something we'll keep an eye on in the coming days. We'll have one more check of your bus stop forecast coming up at about 6:46.
And happening now, President Donald Trump is speaking out against the suspicious packages sent across the country, including to former President Barack Obama and 2016 presidential nominee Hillary Clinton.
In these times, we have to unify. We have to come together and send one very clear, strong, unmistakable message that acts or threats of political violence of any kind have no place in the United States of America.
Political leaders from both countries are condemning, or both parties, I should say, are condemning the attempted attacks, including other members of the First Family. The Postal Inspection Service says it is working with federal investigators.
Happening next, we want to remind you that you can see President Trump speak in person this weekend. He's holding a rally in Murfreesboro, Illinois for Congressman Mike Boss on Saturday. Now, the rally is happening at the Southern Illinois Airport. Doors open at 1:30. We've posted where you can go to get tickets on WPSDLocal6.com. Just search for this story. And we've also learned that President Trump's daughter Ivanka is coming to Kentucky. The White House says she'll visit 3 training centers in eastern Kentucky tomorrow, along with Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin.
You still have 5 days to donate new or gently used clean coats to help kids stay warm this winter. So far, you've helped us collect more than 1,600 kids in our Coats for Kids promotion. For a list of drop-off locations, go to WPSTLocal6.com and look for Coats for Kids.
Telling you we'll hit it 2,000.
We're going to get there. Coming up on Local 6 today, we're going to check back in with our co-anchor, Michaela Bruner, who's live in Carson Park at the Wall That Heals this morning.
She's sharing some more stories of local veterans who are planning on visiting the traveling memorial. Plus, it's not only the soldiers in Vietnam with bad memories of the war.
How this family got through the pain of their husband and father being taken away from them. That is up next. The time is 6:40, and you're watching Local 6 today.
Decades have passed, but the memories of Vietnam are still vivid in the memories of the men and women who fought.
You have a survivor instinct, you know. You think you're invincible, and some people were, some people weren't.
The legacies of more than 58,000 people who died in the war are now carried on by their loved ones and those who fought beside them and made it home.
You don't have friends, you have brothers. They're not friends. I've got brothers. I mean, we're that close, you know.
I think you learn to get along with things. You have more patience. You've seen things really bad, so the other things don't seem so bad.
Bob Graves, Bob McGahee, and Bill Kinsey are just 3 of the Vietnam veterans that we talked to about the Wall That Heals. They say that they're planning on visiting it while it's in Paducah as a way to honor the brave men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice. And we've talked a lot about the experiences of some local veterans who served in Vietnam.
And while they were fighting the war, their loved ones were fighting a different kind of battle, living their lives without their soldiers. Donna Henson and her daughters, Katie and Carmen, lived every day wondering if their husband and father, Randall Henson, was okay. It was these red, white, and blue envelopes that kept them going, each holding a letter from Randall to his girls. Donna shared some of those letters with us. Take a listen.
I'm hoping this is the last time I will be going to the field, but I know that is too much to ask. Tell everyone hello for me, and tell Carmen and Katie. But I am thinking about them all the time. And I love you, my sweet, so don't forget that ever. Write me as much as you can. Love for my girls, Randall.
Randall did make it home to his girls from Vietnam. He died back in 1999 of a heart attack. The Hensons say they're planning on visiting the Wall That Heals to show the families whose loved ones are listed that they appreciate them.
And it's not only Vietnam veterans and their families who are coming to our area to see the wall. The Paducah chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution is serving food in Carson Park's Honor Hall. And it's free for veterans and their families and volunteers. More than 60 groups and businesses donated sandwiches, snacks, and plenty of water. And then just a reminder, the wall will be open from now until 2:30 Sunday afternoon. There's a welcome home ceremony tonight at 6 at Carson Park. We'll be streaming it live on air and on WPSTLocal6.com.
Now, weather on the 6s.
6:46 this Thursday morning, and if you do plan to visit the wall, rain is going to impact at least portion of its stay here in Paducah. That higher rain chance arrives later today, goes into tomorrow morning, then we'll see rain tapering off Friday afternoon. It's going to stay chilly as we finish out the month of October over the next several days, and then looking ahead to next week, maybe some tricky weather for Halloween. We'll talk about some rain chances there in just a second. Final check of your bus stop forecast this morning brought to you by Independence Bank. Shout out to Lyon County again this morning. 48 degrees our temperature on the bus and off to school this morning. Not as cold as yesterday, still jacket weather, and 57 heading home. Some light rain could be possible as early as 3 o'clock, but the higher rain chance will sneak into the area closer to the evening. 6 o'clock, of course, that's the opening ceremony time for the Wall That Heals, and even if the rain is not here yet at 5:30, 6 o'clock, I would go ahead and have the umbrella and the rain jacket just in case you need it. Of course, there are grandstands out there at Carson Park, but some wet weather flirting with the area by the evening hours. You'll need the jacket also to stay warm. Temperatures in the mid-50s, and certainly later on tonight, higher rain chances sneak in for the overnight hours, and tomorrow morning, I guess that's a little bit of good news with the rain chances. One, it's going to be light rain, and two, the bulk of the wet weather comes along kind of during the overnight, the off-peak times as far as the wall is concerned. By 7 o'clock in the morning, still quite quite a bit of light shower activity around the area. It's going to be a cool, damp start to our Friday, lower 50s, and temperatures really are not going to move much tomorrow. We'll be stuck in the mid-50s all day long. The steady rain moves out by noontime tomorrow, but even in the afternoon, some sprinkles, some drizzle, some mist will be around. Just a pretty cold, raw, damp Friday afternoon for us. Temperatures by football time tomorrow night in the lower half of the 50s, and it will still be a little on the damp side, so have those jackets ready to go and a little money for some hot chocolate out at the football field tomorrow night. Those rain chances taper off a little bit by Saturday. Still not going to completely dry things out. I think we'll have a slight chance of a sprinkle. Mostly cloudy and 59 on Saturday. Your 7-day planning forecast with the weekends always in view. The system that yesterday looked like it would arrive on Saturday now has been pushed back, so Sunday afternoon features a little bit higher of a shower chance. We will be dry to start next week. Monday and Tuesday looking pretty good, a little cooler, and then there's that rain chance on Halloween. Lots of time between now and then, but we will be tracking that for you in the coming days. Guys.
Trent, thank you. The wall that heals has been officially open in Paducah's Carson Park since midnight.
Some of you have already seen it. Stop by to see it there yourselves. And that's where we find our co-anchor now, Michaela Bruner, this morning. And Michaela, what are veterans hoping that people will get out of a visit to the wall?
The wall will serve as a reminder for the thousands of men and women who died fighting for this country, the ultimate sacrifice. For many, this is the next part of the healing process that's already 50 years in the making, including Bob Harris. He lives in Paducah, but served in Vietnam from 1967 to 1968.
Here just came over because when they said, when you get debark the plane, run. And we did. I ran as fast as I could. And then I asked myself, what am I doing here?
Bob says he remembers almost everything from his 7 months and 16 days in Vietnam, including the terrible things he saw and had to do. He looks back on Vietnam and remembers his friends, Mike and Joe. They didn't make it home, and he'll be looking for their names when he visits the wall.
They did.
Bob says he had a hard time adjusting after the war. He was the only survivor of an attack at his camp. He struggled with survivor's guilt as well as a lot of anger and despair. But today, he thanks God every day for all he has now. And you're going to see symbols if you come to visit the wall that heals. Coming up after the break, we'll explain to you what these different symbols mean. All that's coming up right after the break. Good morning. I'm live at Carson Park this morning at the wall that heals. The replica of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial features the names of the more than 58,000 people who didn't come home from the war. Now, if you take a look at these names on the wall, you're going to see a symbol next to them like this one, Prentice Hicks with a cross and Richard Roberts with a cross. We looked these two names up along with Frederick Herrera, and they were all in the same unit. Now, the crosses mean that the persons, that their remains have never been found. A diamond means that the person's death has been confirmed. Now, if their remains are ever found, the cross will have a diamond superimposed over the top of it. Now, here's another option. If somehow they're ever found alive, a circle will be inscribed around the cross, but that has never happened. We want to remind you the wall is open from right now until Sunday afternoon. During that time, there are a few events planned. Tonight, there'll be a welcome ceremony at the wall starting at 6, but organizers say you'll want to get here early. Tomorrow night, there'll be a candlelight vigil and wreath laying. That's also at 6. And the wall's time in Paducah wraps up Sunday with a closing ceremony at 2:30. We'll have much more from the wall that heals in every newscast on Local 6 today. We'll be out here live tomorrow morning. We'll also be out here live at midday. Live in Carson Park, I'm Michaela Bruner, WPSD Local 6.
All right, thank you, Michaela. And we've talked a lot about the actual wall and all of its features, but it's just one part of the traveling memorial.
Oh, that's right. There's also the Mobile Education Center, and several of you may have seen this 53-foot trailer carrying the wall to Paducah on Tuesday. Well, that's not the only purpose it serves. Now, while the wall is set up, it transforms into a mobile education center. The outside features a timeline of the war and the wall and includes additional exhibits to give you a better understanding of what that the wall represents. Some of those displays include a hometown hero section, which includes pictures of service members from the area to help put faces with the names you'll see on the wall. There's also a map of Vietnam, memory honor wall, a display of items left at the memorial in Washington, D.C., and a digital kiosk to help you find the names you're looking for a little easier. And you can find out more about the Wall That Heals by going to WPSDLocal6.com.
We have an entire page dedicated to the wall and its time in Paducah.
Now, weather on the 6s.
A few seconds away from 6:56 this Thursday morning. If you headed out to the wall today, the earlier you can go, the safer you'll be from the rain. Later on this evening, rain chances will be increasing. It's going to be cooler today than it was yesterday, and yesterday was pretty cool at times. We're talking about mid to upper 50s for highs today. A lot of clouds around, a sprinkle or two possible toward noon and early afternoon. A little bit higher chance of some showers by 6, 8 o'clock tonight. That would be light rain. It's not going to be a heavy washout type of a rain, but you'll still need the jacket and the umbrella just to be prepared for that. Overall, our higher rain chances will be late tonight, overnight, going into Friday morning, and then tomorrow rain chances decrease through the day. It will still be a little damp on Friday afternoon and a stray shower, some sprinkles possible. By Friday night, things look to be safely a little bit drier for us. It's going to be cool and kind of raw tomorrow. 55 north-northwest wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, good news if you have to wait to the weekend to see the wall. It does look a little drier on Saturday. 7-day planning forecast for the weekend's always in view. Sunday, some showers around and a dry start to things next week. Still tracking that chance for rain on Halloween. We'll be back to wrap things up this Thursday morning after this.
Before you go, you're taking a final live look this morning at the Wall That Heals. It's currently open in Paducah's Carson Park.
And don't forget, you and your family are invited to the welcome home ceremony tonight. It starts at 6 at the wall. We'll also be streaming it both on air and on WPSDLocal6.com.
All right, thanks for watching us today on NBC. Starts right now.